Look on Cena's face, he gets all upset. It's like all these John Cena fans came out and they're now like converts to Bray Wyatt's,
Church. The Church of Bray Wyatt.
The Church of Bray Wyatt.
Waiting for like John Cena and come out in like a suit, on a Bible, and say, going, "Power of Christ compels you."
Yeah.
And now here's Tyler.
Yes, and now, along with Batman Wayne Kircher, we call him, here on the Great Wrestling Debate today.
My name is still on the intro. All these months, Tyler working.
Well, we should, yeah.
I'm just a blurb, right? Yeah.
Well, we can edit it, but Wayne Kircher along with me, talking. I guess post Extreme Rules thoughts and what happened at the pay-per-view.
Well, man, I'm gonna be talking. I'm the one who saw the pay-per-view because someone still
refuses
to buy the network for
No, but actually, I was able to see. I did get to see a post of the Shield match. Shield versus Evolution match on DeanAmbrose.net on Vimeo. So yeah, I mean it was. So I mean I did get to see that match, which was obviously
which was probably the best match on the card.
Yeah, whoever posted that, deserves some sort of a round of applause, I guess.
Because then Tyler would have no clue what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah.
What's the big deal?
No, I mean, actually, I read about the match. Like some of the thing, the Seth Rollins spot. Jumping off the stands and Dean Ambrose running across the.
I kind of saw that coming though when.
But I got to see, then I got to see it on Vimeo, and so obviously, whoever posted that, deserves a round of applause. DeanAmbrose.net. I don't know, but anyways, go on.
DeanAmbrose.net. What's it like the
whatever
unofficial
it's
fan
called
page?
on Vimeo or something.
The unofficial fan page of Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, but I mean that's a rare occasion where I just I go on Facebook and I see it posted on the newsfeed and like full match and like really let's fire it up.
Yeah.
So I fired that up on. Actually, after Raw the other night, and so that was it was cool to see. I mean, again, you had it was an over 20-minute match. It was obviously you had Roman Reigns, essentially picking up the win over Batista in the ring.
Yeah,
looking strong, and you had the sick Dean Ambrose spot, and obviously the Seth Rollins jump off the stands, and
which everybody kind of. The thing I was laughing when I saw that match was Triple H kept looking up at the stands.
Yeah, you could see. Yeah,
him and Orton, you knew the spot was coming there because Triple H kept looking up there as if to okay, let's make sure we're in the right spot here for Seth kills himself jumping off I mean,
I was thinking the same thing because I already knew that something like that was going to happen, having read the result. But then I'm like, okay, that's what they're looking around for.
Yeah, they're trying to spot Seth, making sure that he's jumping in they're in the right location. I mean, that's the thing about wrestling. You got to really throw that out the window there because they're these spots are planned or at least talked about. But when we do something that risky, you don't want to screw it up because you could really hurt somebody then. So besides that, it was a solid match. But I just remember like. Okay, well, clearly Seth's jumping off here because he's looking up at the stand at the fans.
Yeah.
Okay, where's Seth at? Where's Seth at?
Yeah, and then lo and behold, right on top.
Just takes out everybody.
Yeah.
Even his own partner. He took out Dean Ambrose technically too in that joke.
But that took Orton and Triple H out of getting anywhere back in the ring.
It was a one-on-one match.
Led to the finish. Yeah, led essentially.
Roman Reigns got payback for Batista taking him out of the Rumble essentially.
Right. Yeah. So. But that's obviously great match. I guess they didn't really specify whether it was going to be Extreme Rules or not, and I guess it was like a regular tag match sort of.
It was pretty physical for a regular tag match.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like there was fighting outside the ring and this.
Yeah, but they weren't the legal men though, so
that's no count
outs. Right? No count outs.
Yeah. But it was. They didn't really specify, that. So it was like I guess it was a regular tag match. We didn't, I think we assumed that it was going to be like a, an Extreme Rules tornado.
I don't know. Payback. Clearly, this feud's not over yet, based on Raw. But
and that's the thing. I mean, we were wondering, whether or not Batista was gonna, leave after this for a little while or whatnot. But it looks like he's gonna be around, and going by what happened Monday night on Raw, it looks like this feud's gonna continue on another match at Payback, which is I guess a tongue in cheek way of saying a pay per view full of rematches from Extreme Rules to some degree. I don't know. But yeah,
but no, I mean, as far as the rest of the card goes, I mean, obviously there was the WLC match. That was the opening one.
Yeah.
They really wanted to push these are two little guys
Yeah.
performing because they had a mini Michael Cole, a mini Jerry Lawler, and a mini JBL on a mini commentating from a mini announce table, plus a mini ring announcer and a mini referee.
Yeah.
And for guys, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, everybody busted their asses off in this match.
Yeah.
Even though the announcers kept chuckling, it was clearly supposed to be hyped up as a comedy match, but I kind of do have a problem when it's comedy matches and you have guys literally doing like some pretty sick spots in this match. I mean, there was one match where there was one spot where I think Jinder Mahal like banged his head and gets a ladder or something. I mean, if they're gonna do these kind of spots, I wish it wasn't for comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, and Drew McIntyre killed himself doing a backflip and landing right on the table. So, I mean, but besides that, they also had for the minis, they had mini ladders, mini tables, and then mini chairs even. So, I mean, El Torito wins. It was actually a very entertaining match. I just had a problem with it being comedy and all these guys doing these pretty serious spots here, and it's supposed to be for comedy purposes and not for like. I mean, but I'm not going to criticize them. They did bust their asses off in a match, and I mean, that's all I can really say about the match. Really, it was actually an entertaining match.
Yeah,
it got this is awesome chant. So
yeah,
but I think this was a very easy crowd to amuse easily based on the rest of the card. But next one is the triple threat elimination match between Rob Van Dam, Cesaro, and Jack Swagger.
Right.
I did like the fact that it was an elimination one. That really
they mixed it up a little bit.
Paul Heyman did his usual, my client Brock Lesnar beat the streak, but he started off with like almost a whole it's Extreme Rules and how fitting, the tribe of Extreme and blah blah. But then he did the whole my client, Brock Lesnar beat the streak. So But yeah, I mean, it was actually a very good match. Jack Swagger took the first pinfall. Actually, it was a very nice spot too. He was on the outside. He was on the apron. And Cesaro was on like the second rope, and he's going to do a suplex. He actually suplexed Swagger all the way from the apron all the way back into the ring. And just as that happened, Van Dam had a 5-star and got the pinfall. So it was actually a nice spot. And then of course Cesaro got the pinfall on Van Dam after Van Dam brought in a trash can, because apparently this was also an Extreme Rules. I didn't realize that, but puts the trash can on Cesaro. Van Dam goes for a 5-star. Cesaro gets out of the way. Van Dam hits the trash can, and then Cesaro hits neutralizer on the trash can. 3 count. Cesaro wins. I mean, he's like he really had the win. I think Swagger's going nowhere. Based on Raw, he's still not going anywhere.
Right, yeah.
But Cesaro clearly is the guy that needs to get win, and based on Raw, he's got momentum still going. Then we had I believe it was Ivan Drago versus Apollo Creed from the Rocky movie, because apparently now Rusev is Russian, which I figured he was to begin with, but then he said he was Bulgarian. Now he's Russian. Because then Lana comes out, who has very nice legs, I might add, probably the best of all the divas on the roster. just a little offhand comment. Yeah. But in fact, I think Rusev even can't avoid it. I remember one time watching the NXT promo, and he kept staring. He was staring at. I don't know what he was looking at. Wasn't in the camera. Was looking. He was like looking down at her legs or something. If he was, I don't blame him. She has very nice legs. But anyway, Lana comes out and does the usual. Vladimir Putin is the greatest president in the history of the world.
Yeah.
So we got a Russian bad guy now. Which made me start thinking of, boys, when did 1991 show up again? I mean, this is almost like Sergeant Slaughter, Iraqi sympathizer over again, essentially, But, so Rusev comes out and beats Xavier Woods and R-Truth, and he pretty much a squash match. In fact, he just I mean, I brought up Apollo Creed. Xavier Woods, when he was in TNA, his name was Consequences Creed. Consequences Creed. And he pretty much was an Apollo Creed ripoff, because even wore like his wrestling trunks were like the American flag trunks. Yeah, essentially Apollo Creed wore during Rocky 1 and Rocky 4.
Yeah.
So Unfortunately, he that's not his character. It's just Xavier, ordinary Xavier Woods with a mustache, essentially. I think he still has a mustache. But, no, it was a squash match. The big bad Russian wins.
Yeah.
Americans boo, We'll see what happens when this goes here. But WWE's once again linking a real-life event to a character, so we'll see where they go here. But, Rusev wins very, very easily. I mean, he's clearly got to push that up.
Yeah.
Curious who the Super American is going to be that's going to beat this guy. 91, you had Hogan beat Slaughter, the real American Hulk Hogan. So I doubt it's Hogan this time. Bad hip, bad knee. I mean, it's not going to be Hogan again. But who knows? Maybe Kurt Angle. Maybe Kurt Angle comes back. Maybe.
Yeah, eventually.
I don't know what other American characters you can use on WWE right now that can beat the evil Russian right now. But that match happened. Then we had Bad News Barrett against
Big E Langston.
Big E. Well, it's just Big E now.
Big E. Yeah, that's right.
They got rid of the Langston
wanted to say,
In fact, it's just Rusev now. It's not Alexander. It's just Rusev now. So apparently, wrestling fans cannot remember long names. So you got to go short last names now. So Cesaro. Let's call Daniel Bryan at this point here. Go Bryan essentially. I mean, just call Cena. Forget John.
Yeah.
First names don't matter in wrestling anymore. But I mean, it was an okay match. I mean, I wasn't expecting a 5-star of these guys, but it was. I was kind of lukewarm of the finish because Bad News Barrett gets the Intercontinental Championship, but this is kind of a pointless belt now. I mean,
I mean, I don't know.
It's got more value than the United States Championship, and Dean Ambrose proved that when his entrance came for the Shield. I don't even saw what Ambrose did when he came out and dropped the U.S. title when he did with it, essentially.
I forget.
We can get to that because it's actually something that a lot of people noticed, and I think it's one reason why I'm kind of happy he dropped it on Raw finally.
Yeah.
It's
of course in a 20-man battle.
Battle Royal, yeah. But I'm assuming now it's gonna be a heel Sheamus. A heel Sheamus possibly, which I'm fine with because he's going nowhere as a babyface right now. But anyway, I mean, like I said, Bad News Barrett won. Hopefully, he can turn the Intercontinental. I don't know where Big E's going. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean, me neither. Yeah,
it was like this. Like I said, it was like the belt elevated him to the next level. Because usually, back in the day, like I said, it kind of means you're one win away from a World Heavyweight Championship. Usually, I have not seen Big E do anything that makes me think this guy's a main eventer right now.
Yeah,
So, like anybody else who's held the belt in the past, 5 years or something, he's just gonna be, steady. He'll just be in the same spot he was before, so nothing changes probably for him. If anything else, he might even get de-elevated maybe a bit.
Yeah.
So hopefully Barrett can snap this, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Then we get to the Shield, and I was actually surprised how early it was on the card here. I mean, number 4, but Evolution Shield come out. But anyway, Dean Ambrose comes out with the U.S. title, and as he's coming through over the barricade, he drops the belt down. Actually, drop it. He throws it to the ground. Well, it's just fine. You want to get, there's usually somebody there to pick up the belt or something. When he throws the belt down, the belt is not face up; it's face down. So the belt's on it. And what does Ambrose do? I guess to kick it over he just kicks it over to the announcer, like just kicks it as if get this piece of crap away from me. I don't want it.
Yeah.
So does it tell the value of this title essentially?
Yeah, I mean,
in Dean Ambrose's mind.
Yeah, tongue in cheek.
I mean,
he
doesn't hand him to the announcer. He just puts it down. It's face down. So doesn't even want to look at the title, and he just kicks it over as if it's just a toy or something.
Yeah, and again, Extreme Rules is where he won it last year too. So technically a year. I don't know, but almost a year to the date essentially at least on the WWE pay-per-view calendar.
I mean, he didn't really defend the belt much, but
right.
I mean, but he pretty much summed up in that one action what I think most people feel this belt's value is, which is nothing. So, good luck, Sheamus. Hopefully, maybe, former main eventer. Maybe
former WWE, multi-time WWE.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. He wins it. And look at the belt. I'm like, Sheamus is the only guy who I can see beating Ambrose, really.
Yeah.
But I'm always like, this doesn't add any credibility to Sheamus. It might add credibility back to the U.S. title.
It was a 20-man battle royal, yeah.
If anything, this adds less credibility to Sheamus now.
Yeah.
He went from a world champion to now the U.S. champion, which has been maybe the most pointless belt for the last year.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just remember that when Ambrose did that, it was so symbolic of what the belt has been for the past year.
Right, yeah.
Pointless, meaningless, and maybe it should just be scrapped to begin with.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I just remember that that's the one thing that stuck out to me in that entrance for
Right, yeah.
was Edwards just puts the belt down and kicks it away. So, like I said, we put it to the match. It was actually probably the best match in the card.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I think a lot of people expect that too, and it was a huge win for the Shield.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had big 6-man wins in the past in that, but it was definitely a big win for them.
Yeah, I mean over Evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean this is I guess just chapter 1 as far because I guess at Payback maybe they'll get a bigger Extreme Rules tornado match together or something. This was I guess a regular tag team match with the idea of them fighting outside the ring still, and the ineligible partners and that. So
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. But I mean, like I said, the right team won.
Right.
They've got the John Cena Bray Wyatt, and I mean, it was a steel cage match. It was pretty good. I laugh when WWE brings up this whole steel cage is meant to keep people
and then it never
inside. It never happens. When has this cage actually kept people out?
Yeah.
It never has. It never will. So we should stop preaching that.
Yeah.
And at this point here, John Cena. I mean, they kept every time Cena had a chance to get out, there would be a member of the Wyatt family there to distract him. And at the point of the match, Cena took out every member of the Wyatt family. Took out Eric Rowan on top of the cage. He actually threw. This is probably the stupidest thing I saw John Cena ever do here. He's fighting Harper from the from the outside in that. He's inside the cage. Harper's on the outside, but he's like punching Cena on top. John, in his wisdom, says to throw Harper inside the cage with him.
Yeah.
So now he has 2 members of the Wyatt family, Bray and him, inside the cage here. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, did you ever think about? He threw him, and Harper's down because he threw him an incredible, 15 feet essentially. But no, I mean, so Rowan's down, Harper's down, Bray's down. Looks like he's just gonna walk out of the cage.
Yeah, essentially.
And then the Wyatts, and I was just thinking because I'm like, oh man, do we have like a 4th member joining or something? And all of a sudden you hear like this, It doesn't sound like a kid. It's like a mic. It's like a very like deep they change the voice modifications on the microphone or something.
Yeah.
It's like a very, I would say Darth Vader like.
Yeah, I'm not like Vince when they did on DX did on Vince McMahon.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a very dark.
Sound like Darth Vader.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's like a very I'd say bass like voice. Essentially. Yeah, that's probably the best bass like voice. And I would say turn on and it's this little kid.
Yeah.
And Cena's reaction was just priceless.
Yeah, just like
what what the fuck, and I'm just scared shitless now.
Yeah.
So then Cena apparently is not going to shove this kid to the side and just because that's what I would do, push the kid aside and walk out. He says to walk backwards towards the cage, and then the lights come on, and there's Bray Wyatt and hits him Sister Abigail, and then he walks out and like hugs this kid or something. So
yeah.
And they even advertised it as if this kid was like the new member of the Wyatt family or something. Next time in Raw, though, you don't see this kid anywhere. But like they even kind of like a promo later on, right before the Daniel Bryan Kane match. It's a Bray Wyatt promo, and the kid is staying right next to Bray Wyatt with the rest of the Wyatt family. I'm thinking, okay, this kid's gonna come out now, and he's the next member in that. But I don't know. Maybe a lot of parents are complaining. Maybe they think bringing kids involved is overdoing it a bit.
Yeah.
Here's my thoughts on this here. Essentially, I think it adds so much to the storyline having kids involved in it now because it's addressing what I think has been a fact for years, at least the last couple of years, is that most of John Cena's fan base are little kids.
Yeah.
So if Bray wants to be the most dickish heel he can be, just have little kids come out and wearing sheet masks, and that's just like really. And maybe for once we don't get comedy Cena now finally, because I don't know why Cena would be joking and laughing about a guy brainwashing little kids now. Like he should be pissed off. He should be going. He should want to murder Bray Wyatt in the ring essentially. Like beat the holy, based on a PG level, beat the holy hell out of Bray Wyatt essentially. So this should be a plus to the whole storyline. Not to mention, I mean, I look at it this way too. It's I think about the Eddie Guerrero Rey Mysterio one, which was also over the custody battle of I think it was Damien, Rey's kid. The whole story where it was actually Eddie's kid, but Eddie Eddie, was going for problems, so Ray took the. I mean, it was like a weird storyline, but to me, the best kid storyline was when is ECW. It was Sandman versus Raven, and Raven and ECW kind of had a group called it was like his flock essentially. He kind of he was kind of like almost like a religious symbol too. In fact, I think he even crucified Sandman on an episode of ECW. Well, Kurt Angle was present, and Kurt Angle said the because he was supposed to negotiate with ECW at that time that. He essentially said, like, look, do not show my face on TV. Yeah. I don't want to be associated with this organization. I don't want to be associated with an organization that crucifies people on television. But WWF, and I believe Raven said it best, too. They said, you go to WWF. Last time I checked, that's what, around the same time, Undertaker was crucifying people on TV on a regular basis, too. Yeah. So, I don't know what Kurt Angle was, like, problems here. Yeah. But, no, I bet at one point, Raven kidnapped Sandman's kid. His actual kid, by the way. And I think at one point there's a steel cage match, and Sandman's about to beat up Raven, and all of a sudden here comes Sandman's kid, dressed up like one of Raven's flock. It does like one of like Raven's like signature kind of like arm stretches, almost like, and gets in the way of Sandman, and Sandman gets the hell kicked out by the Raven flock then. But it was like a very personal storyline. Yeah. But that's the best storyline I think that involved little kids essentially. As crazy as that sounds, there've been other ones that involve little kids in that, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to end it because I think this adds a lot more personal to the whole John Cena Bryan storyline. But I mean, like I said, I thought the finish was brilliant, entertaining, and I think it's the finish. Like I said, Bray Wyatt needed the win. He needed to get the win back. I don't know what's going to happen to Payback now because this feud clearly is not over. It just got more personal. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see.
Kind of like all the major feuds.
Yeah. You kind of. I don't mind long lengthy feuds. I mean, the only one that feels stupid right now is the Kane Daniel Bryan one.
Yeah.
And Monday's Raw made it even more stupid.
Yeah. Like time fill. Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, and then we got Paige, Tamina. I mean, they wrestled 6 minutes. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
For what they gave them. I mean, I feel bad for the Divas just being a buffer. Essentially, now just a buffer.
Yeah. I mean,
they're just put in there as like a bathroom break. Like after an awesome match. Okay, you guys go out there. Nobody gives a shit. They're probably all in the bathroom. And here comes the main event then.
Yeah.
I was shocked, but Bryan is actually main event in the second pay-per-view. So he's not getting the CM Punk treatment, know. Of course, he has 2 world titles, not unlike Punk. So I guess, you can't make that whole excuse now anymore. But no, Bryan comes out. And it actually was a pretty nice Extreme Rules match. I mean, they actually wrestled in the back. Bryan actually, I think came like a crowbar in the back or something, and that knocked Kane out. So he had to like drive a forklift to get him back into the ring. Because Extreme Rules, it's not false count anyway. It's Extreme Rules. Yeah. So pinfalls only count occur in the ring in that. But so he drives a forklift, gets Kane back in, does a diving headbutt off the forklift because he gets the forklift like as high as he can, and just dumps Kane back in the ring. But no, I mean, like whole flaming table, which I was shocked they even did a flaming table deal. But the only problem I had the flaming table bit is that, again, Kane's supposed to be like this, demon and, fireproof in a way. Because as soon as he goes for the flaming table, he just gets right back up as if he didn't go for a table. Like he's just like, fighting off the flames essentially. Like he's not selling the table, the flaming table spot essentially. Not to mention he keeps getting like destroyed by like 2 different fire extinguishers at the same time there. Yeah. But anyway, he gets in the ring. Bryan hits the I don't know, the flying dragon or whatever the hell the fist finish. Like, the running high knee.
Yeah.
Bryan 3 count wins. But as soon as Bryan's about to head back, Kane just sits right back up, has like a very pissed off look on his face. Does his usual flame bit, and it actually ends up with Kane staring down Bryan. So the whole bit was that Bryan just survived. He didn't conquer the monster or the demon or anything. So, I mean, it was actually I don't know. I think it was a pretty solid card. Nothing really surprised me there. I mean, I don't know. I guess if I had to give it a grade, I'd give like maybe an 8.5 out of 10. I mean, it wasn't actually, it wasn't a bad card.
It was a pretty good card.
I don't know how many more people or less people watched the pay-per-view compared to WrestleMania. Yeah. Like I said, I don't know how this whole network deal works yet, but I mean, for the second network one, I didn't have any audio issues at all from start to finish. So, I mean, so far it looks like it's a plus. I mean, I know there's some people who knows about the number of subscribers they have, but out there right now, this whole network deal should be labeled a success right now.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, and I mean that led us, I guess into Raw. I mean, we already touched on some of the things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean we were talking, back to the Intercontinental Championship last. How we were kind of afraid that, if Wade Barrett does win it again, it's like bad news for him. No pun intended. Bad news Barrett, but yeah, and yeah, I mean Big E Langston, we thought he was gonna retain, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I said again like last week, like. It seems like he hasn't had as much camera time lately,
No.
and I guess now I'm kind of not surprised that they took the belt off him just
I
the
mean,
way.
the most I remember watching WrestleMania during their pre the like the three. I watched like the three different like fan access shows. The pre-show for the pre-show essentially, and one of them was they had a bit where a superstar would be walking around New Orleans and just doing like tourist stuff. And one of them was Big E. And Big E once in a while would walk up to fans who would go like, "Hey, it's Big E!" And and like I said, I don't know if they were plants. I mean, one of the fans had like an Australian accent. I remember that too. So I guess some of them were like real fans of that. But it's like a funny bit there. Big E would like say, "Hey, how come you guys have Big E shirts on that?" And like, the guy's like, "Oh, we'll probably get him at Mania or something like that." It's like, but like, before he leaves here, like a fan goes up and goes, "Hey, Big E, do you know Daniel Bryan?"
Yeah.
Like, first BB like laughs. You're like, yeah, I know Daniel, but like I think the third or fourth time he's like, let me guess, do I know Daniel Bryan? Like,
Yeah.
so essentially he gets like pushed to the side by fans, like just
Yeah.
saying, no. I mean, you're great, but Daniel Bryan's our best, the best guy essentially. So I don't know. To me, that might sound biggie how they treated him so far.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, anybody's really held the belt. I mean, when is the
In
Intercontinental
recent
United
years.
States Championship actually elevated anybody?
Yeah, in recent years,
Yeah.
it hasn't.
It's probably done the opposite. It's devalued them.
Yeah,
Curtis Axel has not did benefit any
at all.
at all. Cody Rhodes, how he did the whole bit where he dropped the old Intercontinental and he brought back the old, the current one
The one
essentially.
that,
He did an amazing promo on that. He's been de-elevated
yeah.
too. After I thought main event for Cody Rhodes in the future, obviously, but no, I mean, so even when you have a solid reign, it's like no, you just not wait for the main event. You're what I did find the quote unquote mid card title, but so like I said, I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna. I don't even know if they can fix. I think it's been too damaged.
Yeah, I mean, I guess with the theory with Wade Barrett is he's got this whole bad news Barrett thing on the side that where I guess like maybe Biggie Langston. I mean, he's just he's a big guy. He's a good wrestler definitely, but I don't know. I guess they think maybe Wade or Bad News Barrett. They call
one of
him
the funniest things about his entrance theme. I don't know if they changed it because I haven't paid much attention, but his entrance used to have like a 5 count mentioned in it in the beginning.
Yeah.
And there used to be a lot of people like always asking like, well, why does Biggie have like a 5 count? And that's because in NXT his gimmick was that he kind of did like bit like King Kong Bunny did, because King Kong Bunny was famous for when he pins somebody, he would say, after the 3 count, no, 5 count, so then they count 4 or 5, and you pin guys in like 5, 5 pin, essentially. So that's what Big E would do in NXT. He'd put somebody and he'd tell the ref count the 5, and the guy would not get up at 5. So once again, he uses the same entrance theme for the main roster, but there was not one match where he actually said, "Hey ref, 5 count,"
Yeah.
So why is it even mentioned in his theme then?
Yeah.
So I mean, to me, it was always it's a whole deal of what's his character, what's his personality. I mean,
yeah,
because that's one that you need to be successful in is definitely WWE is you need to have a personality and a character.
Yeah,
and I've been told Biggie has an amazing personality. In fact, when he was Dolph Ziggler's heavy essentially. I remember one time he cut like he'd be like the announcer, and he had like this like a nice like announcer voice, which I thought was kind of hilarious because you wouldn't expect that from him. But I didn't see them. First of all, he didn't talk on the mic much as a college champion. I mean, so
right.
I mean, like I said, you want people to care. You got to show these people who these people are that even care about them. So. I don't blame Big E for the reason why the title.
Yeah,
I blame the company for not valuing the title and the champion holding the title. So
and I don't know. We'll see with this new Bad News Barrett gimmick now as Intercontinental Champion. We'll see where it goes.
I don't know. Guess. I don't know. To me, this is Wade Barrett's last chance at getting anywhere near the main event
Yeah.
He's had so many opportunities, and some have he probably dropped the ball on. Some the company dropped the ball on.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is his last chance, I think, to get that world title reign.
Yeah.
Some people thought he was destined to get to begin with, but
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll
Yeah,
see.
we'll see. Yeah, and then obviously another segment. Daniel Bryan was facing Alberto Del Rio, and
It was actually a nice match.
and
actually the finish was awesome. the way he reversed the armbar
arm
into
bar.
the S lock. I mean, he
Yeah.
kind of like just spun around, and it was actually a nice finish. So
it was a little surprising how it just like kind of came out of thin air. But then afterwards, you had the whole backstage segment with Kane and the car. Daniel Bryan, getting away.
Did Brie Bella screaming hurt the segment properly?
I
that was just terrible. I believe Don Tony Kevin Castle said best Brie Bella's scream is a real boner killer. So I would have not gone that far, but I guess what they're trying to say is that somebody heard her if she ever went into acting, her I don't know. I guess it's almost like Megan Fox. Megan Fox is known for being a very attractive person, but just sucks at acting.
Yeah.
And I've watched her in so many movies where her acting is so bad it just kills whatever attractiveness she has.
Yeah.
Essentially, and these people saying the thing about Brie Bella in that segment.
Brie Bella.
She's attractive. Yeah, Brie Bella, or Brie Danielson, or Danielle.
Yeah.
Bell,
however you wanna
call her that name now. I mean, obviously, are saying she is Daniel Bryan's wife in that now, and first it's like lucky, Daniel, lucky for you, and all of a sudden you hear her screaming. It's like, holy crap!
Yeah.
I felt like it killed it, and not to mention, I'm so sick and tired of these whole. It felt like I was watching Zack Ryder over again.
Yeah,
because we all remember
with the ambulance and the.
Well, we already had the same things essentially.
Yeah. Kane jokes like.
Kane tries to take Zack Ryder to hell, and now last week he tried to take Brie Bella to hell, which I found was hilarious. There he chokeslams Daniel Bryan, no problem there, but he can't bring down with both arms a 65-pound woman. Like that was the funniest part about that segment last week. But yeah, no, and then like I said, then like just like Zack Ryder hit him and Eve Torres try to escape, and Kane ambushes Zack, and here it's up. I mean,
Cena tries to come to the rescue.
Exactly. If John Cena comes to the rescue, I'm gonna flip out and tell.
I just think somebody owes us an explanation.
So I mean, it's. I want this feud to end. I'm hoping Payback's the end of this. End of this feud here. I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to establish Kane as this monster again, and I'm just saying, look. Just have him kidnap Brie Bella already. Just do it already. Yeah. If you're gonna do it, do it.
Maybe next week it'll happen. Who knows? I mean, you saw this week. They drive away, and Kane was after rolling off the car.
And we see him. Like every horror movie, instead of keep driving, Daniel stops the car and comes out and checks to see if the guy's okay or not.
Yeah, we see Kane, do his sit up. His sudden sit
I don't know.
Again.
I mean. It's not the stupidest car accident I've ever seen WWE do. The stupidest one was when JBL was fighting John Cena backstage and he knocked John out and he got into his limo and he actually reversed it. It looked like he was trying to destroy John Cena's face with his limo. Yeah. And then remember the episode of Raw. They don't even show John if he missed or anything. They just show the limo backing up and crashing where John Cena's head supposedly was.
Yeah.
And all it all ends with just JBL getting out of the limo. And he looks behind his limo, and he just looks, and he just turns around and has like, oh my god, what did I just do or something?
Yeah.
And that's how Raw ended. Like, oh, did he kill John Cena on television or not?
Yeah.
and then I remember almost instantaneously on WWE's network, they said, no, he missed John Cena. John went out of the way. Would have been nice if would have showed that on camera, maybe.
I just think somebody owes us an explanation.
That was probably the worst car stunt they ever did on WWE television. Was JBL almost trying to kill John Cena with his limousine.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I wish that the feud ends. Payback, just wrap it up.
Felt like time. Yeah, it does feel like time filler. I guess partially because
not to mention I've seen this video before.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've seen it before.
yeah, and I guess it's partially because Orton is in the Evolution versus Shield storyline right now, which
I don't even know if Randy Orton fighting Daniel Bryan for like the 4th millionth time is gonna save.
yeah, I don't know.
There's nobody new on the roster. I mean, the next guy, the next guy makes sense. Bray Wyatt.
As far as heels, yeah, I mean,
as far as I'm
like,
concerned, Bray Wyatt's like
there's-
number 2,
because-
number 3 baby, number 2,
Yeah,
almost
I
number
mean,
1
it's
baby
not-
face on the roster.
yeah, it's not gonna, because it's not gonna be Batista, with him maybe going away.
Not to
here and
mention
there. There's
who beat Daniel
there's
Bryan at the
nobody
Royal
else.
Rumble?
Right, yeah, that's
Bray Wyatt. So
Yeah.
he has a win actually over the world
yeah, and
champion.
all of the Shield are faces right now too.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
there's no real other heels.
Brock
right now.
Lesnar is not going to push up
yeah.
till SummerSlam. So
Yeah,
why not Bray Wyatt?
there's speculation that maybe that'll be a Daniel Bryan's match. So I mean, who knows? Yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, they haven't really elevated any other heels because ever since they turned the Shield babyface, entirely, and so at the moment, there's not really any signs that they'll be turning any of them heel anytime soon.
Though that's supposed is the deal. Those guys they're going to turn on each other eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
I don't
To some degree.
I don't know when. I don't know. I guess as long as the merchandise keeps coming
Right,
in,
yeah.
I think it's stupid on their part.
Right.
If Shield
yeah.
merchandise is selling through the roof, and this is like the next
Right now, I mean,
biggest face group
Yeah.
essentially.
yeah, I mean, right now, I mean, it's fine. The Shield Evolution storyline is definitely good. I mean, another match at Payback, and we'll see.
Yeah.
After that, I mean, maybe it does leave a bit of a hole in the Daniel Bryan title reign right now, as far as when you got Kane.
But Brian's probably
But-
Brian's still main event in the
At
pay-per-view,
least
and
he's
Brian's still over.
Right.
But I think he needs to have a better feud than Kane right now.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So.
Or at least change the storyline.
Yeah. I mean, at least on the other hand, I mean, maybe they can at least Daniel Bryan will have maybe progressively better opponents. After Kane. We'll see who they go. If they go back to Orton or I don't know, and maybe eventually Lesnar.
Yep.
So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I mean, I think that takes care of most of what's going on right now. Do you want to?
I don't know. Do you want to talk about the Adam Rose debut?
Oh yeah, I think it's kind of fun. Like I feel like he's not comparing him to Fandango, but I think it's funny how he debuted after Fandango gets destroyed through a table against the Shield last week, and I don't know. It's interesting.
Did you notice JTG was wearing
One of
the dancers? I'm so glad.
Find a place for.
I'm so glad that one half of Crime Time did not get featured Endeavor again.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's better. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's.
Well, I guess it's better getting fed to Rusev, I guess.
Yeah, better than getting future Endeavor too.
But but I don't know. I mean, it was the debut I would go with.
Yeah.
Go with. I mean, it is Jack Swagger. I mean, I feel bad for Swagger more than anybody now because he actually has this whole character and the theme and the fact that he can put on amazing matches and that. Not to mention his ankle lock is actually very well done. People used to make fun of him that because it's like, oh man, Kurt Angle wanted to be here, but it's I think his ankle lock is just as vicious as Kurt Angle the way he does Kurt Angle did the ankle lock. So, I mean, but like I said, I mean, I obviously. If he's feuding with Rose is going over. There's no point in having Swagger go over. But no, I mean I would have not have debuted with him coming out and mocking Zeb Coulter, I guess, in a way. I mean, but I don't know. I'm gonna
comedy angle. Yeah.
I'm gonna wait until they actually have a match.
Yeah.
Because he did the same thing on main event. He came out during the Swagger and Ziggler match and he screwed Swagger over and. Then they told Ziggler, hey, stay in the ring here, and it's like Ford was go posse over to get some Ziggler. So apparently, he's taking a playbook out of The Godfather, maybe. Hey, you can either wrestle me or you can go home for my followers here essentially.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, people were humming to the theme music. I also heard loud boos in the front row clearly. So I mean, I do know there are people shitting on this gimmick because they know it's clearly a Russell Brand ripoff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, I mean, they also think the gimmick's stupid. Like I said, Fandango and all that. I mean, I don't see any linkage between those characters. This is a completely different character.
It's just coincidental.
Yeah, I think it's too much. But no, I mean, but like I said, I I wish debut I'll give her mixed, but I'm not gonna completely bury the character yet.
Yeah.
Well,
He didn't
I see what happens when he performs because NXT he's been wrestling a jobber so far in NXT. So his matches are like I think one of his matches has even gone over 5 minutes in NXT yet.
Yeah.
And it's not Leo Kruger can't wrestle.
Yeah.
He can wrestle. I've seen him before the Adam Rose gimmick. The guy can wrestle. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see if the gimmick gets over. I'm hoping the gimmick gets over. I think it's new. At least NXT came off as new. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, we'll see what they do. I mean, but I don't know. As far as the debut goes, I go mixed. I'm hoping Bo Dallas debut is a little better.
Yeah.
And it actually sounds like Bo might be getting the better end than Adam Rose right now. Because who knows what happens when Bo Dallas debuts right now. But right now we're probably a few weeks away from that happening. But no, okay. So
Starrcade 1985.
Yep. So obviously 85. WrestleMania. It's this WrestleMania 1 has just happened. Like we said, Starrcade 83 pretty much was the first one. So essentially, in the long of 84, that essentially inspired Vince McMahon to do WrestleMania 1 to financial success. So Starrcade 85 was something that probably inspired WrestleMania 2. Because what was WrestleMania 2 known for? Basic fact about it.
Basic fact
about WrestleMania 2.
What do you mean, like?
What was unique about WrestleMania 2?
Big match wise or
just the event in general? What was unique about it?
I don't know. I mean, you had Hulk Hogan and
it was held in 3 different locations. They had 4 matches in New York, 4 in Chicago, and 4 in Los Angeles.
12 total.
Yeah, but they had one pay-per-view event in 3 different cities.
Right. Yeah.
Well, Starrcade 85 technically inspired that. Yeah. It was in Greensboro, North Carolina, at the Greensboro Coliseum, which is what hosted the first 2 Stargates, and Atlanta, Georgia, in the Omni. So technically, Vince is. As crazy as I said, Vince might have stole the whole concept for a Supercard event from WCW. Supercard, and technically Dusty Rhodes, because technically I just learned that Dusty Rhodes is the head booker during this whole thing. So and that Stargate was his idea, and even the concept of 2 different, one event at 2 different locations was his idea too. But so Stargate 85, it's the rematch between last year's main event. It's Rhodes versus Flair. It's called The Gathering. Don't know why.
Yeah.
But commentators are Bob Caudle and Tony Schiavone, who is probably going to be the commentator from here on out at every other event, because he's pretty much is the voice of WCW. Tony Schiavone. You ever watch any WCW pay-per-view, odds are Tony Schiavone is going to be the head commentator at the event, essentially. But I mean, yeah. So what else do I want to say before we get into the card here, quick? No, that's about it. Okay. So first match is we got the evil Russian Crusher Khrushchev versus Sam Houston for the vacant NWA Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Championship. Obviously, crowd is pro Houston, loud USA chants. I mean, it was actually a pretty good match. I gave I think it was 3 stars. I mean, the one thing about Starrcade 85 compared to 84 and 83, production value is clearly way better than the first 2. I mean, what you would expect, this is the 3rd pay-per-view, so you're expecting that they worked all the bugs out of the first 2. But no, I mean, it's actually a pretty smooth, as far as production and camera went. I thought it was actually pretty smooth. But I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. It wasn't a bad opening contest. It was probably the best one compared to the first 2 I saw in the last 2 Stargates. But Crusher Khrushchev, what happened was Houston believed he had won the match. He actually had a pinning. It was the usual one, Bayface thinks there's a pinfall on the heel, but the heel gets his foot on the rope at the last second, and the stupid Bayface that he is, Houston gets up and starts celebrating. Doesn't even check the ref to see if that was a 3 count or not. So the ref has to tell him, hey, it was only 2, foot on the rope. And as soon as he turns around, Khrushchev comes in nails a vicious clothesline.
Yeah.
And he goes to pin Houston, and Houston I think tries to get his foot on the rope. And he actually does, right before the 3 count happens. But Khrushchev being the great heel that he is, because the ref doesn't see it this time, he just pushes it off the rope, oh, what? No, he didn't. No, see, foot's not on the rope, 3 count.
Yeah.
So that's how he picks it up. He wins the Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Championship from Sam Houston. So I mean, obviously loud boos because the evil Russian just trounced America essentially. The next one was a Mexican death match between the Raging Bull Manny Fernandez and Abdullah the Butcher with Paul Jones in his corner. The whole concept of the Mexican death match is that it's a no DQ match, so a lot of weapons, a lot of blood, which you expect from Abdullah the Butcher matches essentially, especially his famous I believe it's his famous fork that just keeps poking people with in the forehead. But both guys are playing up. The whole concept of the match though is not pinfall. It's that Manny Fernandez sombrero that he comes out with is on his pole, so it's a pole match. Which already I'm hating because I hate pole matches because they're so stupid. I mean, it's like it's a ladder tile. It's not like it's a ladder in the middle. Oh, I might fall off the ladder. It's okay. You gotta do is get up to the top of the turnbuckle and it's on this pole. You just gotta reach up and grab it.
Yeah.
But I always see like guys like struggling to get up the apron and trying to like get this pole here and try to. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, it was a bloodbath. But Manny Fernandez performed a flying burrito. That's literally what they called his move. Which is just a flying clothesline. They called it the flying burrito, though.
Yeah.
But Mr. Splash, Abdullah attempted a turnbuckle thrust into the corner, but Fernandez avoided it, and Abdullah's shoulder hit the ring post. He actually really hit the ring post. Fernandez then just retrieved the sombrero from the top of the pole and won the match. So I mean, I gave it. I think it was like a 3. I believe I gave it like a 3.5. Gotta organize this better. Okay. A 3.5. Actually, the funny thing for this match, though, that I found to mention was that when Abdullah came out, and it's kind of funny, the way they there was almost like no post game like interviews like in the first two. There was a lot of interviews in between matches. Here, not so much. It was like, okay, this match is over. Let's cut back. Okay, we're at the Greensboro Coliseum. Let's cut back to Atlanta quick and catch the next match. Cut back, like it was just back and forth. Like you had like no chance to like take a bathroom break at all at any point during this pay-per-view. But they cut right to Abdullah making his entrance, and it's kind of like through the crowd a bit. And apparently a fan is grabbing his headgear. And, I don't know if people know that Abdullah's kind of a badass. So Abdullah does not like this, and he takes the headgear off, and he goes right towards the fan and starts like punching him in the crowd. And the crowd's kind of like trying to cut away. You can see like 2 cops trying to break up the fight. and they do get Abdullah away from the fan. So the fan should be thanking his lucky stars there. Yeah. But Abdullah does eventually get to the ring. He looked pissed as hell though at the fan. So I thought that was kind of funny. But I gave it like a 3.5 because it was a bloodbath. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it might have even been a 4-star one because of how sick of how sadistic Abdullah could be in these kind of matches and that. Yeah. But I hate pole matches. I just do. I think they're stupid as they're a stupid concept. Yeah. Anyway, we get an interview from Crusher Khrushchev then, who for a Russian has a very deep Southern accent. So I don't know, because he's talking about the Rock and Roll Express and Ivan and Nikita Koloff tag team steel cage match later on in the night. In fact, that's the main event at the Greensboro Coliseum. And apparently he's aligned with them in that. And I heard, Koloff, both the Koloff speak at 84 Stargate. They had like a very deep, like stereotypical Russian accent at least. Yeah. So I don't know if Khrushchev is like a traitor American that joined the Russians, the winning, because he kept referring to himself as like a Russian athlete. I'm like, you clearly are not Russian. You're clearly like born and bred, deep South American essentially.
Yeah. Born in Russia, living in the bayou for a long time.
I don't know what his character is, but I just laughed as soon as he was speaking like in this very like deep Southern accent, and he's saying, "Yeah, I'm a great Russian athlete," in that. So we get to the third match then, which was a Texas Bulldog match between Black Bart and Ron Bass, who and Black Bart has J.J. Dillon as corner. Now, if you remember last year's Stargate, Ron Bass was a part of a tag team with Black Bart with J.J. Dillon as their manager. So Ron Bass is the babyface. It's usual, the usual. Yeah. My manager screwed me over. I'm gonna go and try to get my hands on the manager in a way. So I mean, it's a Bulldog match. I mean, that's kind of classic WCW there. In fact, Dusty Rhodes, I remember, challenged Randy Orton to win at Great American Bash one time. And of course, that cowbell, that damn cowbell could be quite a weapon. I don't know how many cowbell shots I saw in this match. A lot, but both competitors were bloody. But Ron Bass gets the win, hitting Bart with a cowbell off the second turnbuckle and pins him. And the stipulation was that if Ron Bass beat Black Bart, he got a 5-minute match with J.J. Dillon, the manager. So as soon as it happens, J.J. Dillon gets in the ring and starts like beating the hell out of Ron Bass with the cowbell. And but then Ron Bass comes in, rallies back. He starts beating the hell out of Dillon with the cowbell. But then Black Bart recovers because he just lost the match. Comes in and the first amazing ref bump of the night. Because what happens is Bass is gonna it looks like hit Dillon with the cowbell. He ends up striking the referee with it.
Oh my God!
So then Bart comes in and hits a pile driver and just throws a like unconscious Dillon on top of Bass, and the typical 3 count, and J.J. Dillon wins. So for both matches, I gave it a 3.5 for the Ron Bass and Black Bart one. It was actually a very good match. I mean, it was actually like they actually pulled a lot of stuff off, like for the of course they even did something that was also legal in WWE now, choking with the rope a lot. But and then for the J.J. Dillon one, I gave like a 2-star. It wasn't that it was like only a 3-minute match. So and not to mention J.J. Dillon's not a wrestler, he's a manager. So but he actually it wasn't bad. But I gave it 2. So then we got to the our 5th match over in which we go right over to Atlanta. Then it's Billy Graham versus the Barbarian with Paul Jones in a arm wrestling match. And the whole deal is that the winner of the arm wrestling match gets $10,000. But then after the arm wrestling match, there's going to be a normal match between the Barbarian and Billy Graham then. So as they're arm wrestling here, you see Paul Jones with like his cane. And he's just like, waiting. And he's like cheering on the Barbarian. But then as soon as Billy Graham beats him in the arm wrestling one, he just hits the hell out of Billy Graham with this cane, Paul Jones. And then all of a sudden, the match starts. The next match starts then. And it looks like Billy Graham's about to win, and then Paul Jones hits him with the cane again, and he ends up winning by DQ then. So, I mean, arm wrestling, I don't even know if you rated the arm wrestling one. Yeah, I did. I gave it a 1 star. Because nothing really happened. I mean, I saw what was going to happen. I saw, like, Paul Jones just staying there with this cane. Like, he's going to hit Billy Graham as soon as the arm wrestling contest is over. Because he knows that as soon as it's over, the next match, the actual wrestling match starts. Yeah. And by hitting you with this, metal cane, he gives his guy an advantage then. So, and like I said, it was a very short 3-minute match. Billy Graham is also very old in this. He's really past his prime. We're talking about a guy who wrestled all the way in the 70s and that. So he's getting close to retirement at this stage too. So I mean, he looks like shit. Also looks like he took off the steroids just in time because his muscle mass clearly went downhill from the 70s. But anyway, then we go to Buddy Landel, who calls himself the Nature Boy. He even looks like Ric Flair. Has the Ric Flair haircut. He even does the Ric Flair strut during his match with Terry Taylor, who I actually remember Terry Taylor from watching a WWE Network Survivor Series one time. His gimmick, also a Legends of Wrestling one, they made fun of Terry Taylor kind of it because Terry Taylor was a great wrestler. In fact, very talented. In fact, this was a very good match between him and Buddy Landel. Actually, a very awesome finish. But what happened? The gimmick they give Terry Taylor though is the Red Rooster gimmick. And kid you not, Tyler, what it is that Terry Taylor comes out and he has a rooster cap on his head. And he wrestles with the damn rooster cap on his forehead. And even him cutting promos, it's like him saying I'm gonna cock-a-doodle-doo my way to a win. I mean, how are you gonna succeed with that kind of a gimmick? I'm very convinced with what Dusty Rhodes said. I believe that when Vince signed WCW, NWA guys, he was just trying to screw him over.
I agree.
Dusty Rhodes in the polka dots, Terry Taylor in a damn rooster outfit. I mean, come on. But it was actually a very good match. I gave it 3.5. Buddy Landel, like I said, the original Nature Boy. Well, I should say the new Nature Boy is how I guess he worded it. Yeah. With actually J.J. Dillon, who actually was not out there early on because, like I said, he got kind of bloodied up from Ron Bass. But he does show up towards the end to help Buddy Landel beat Terry Taylor for the NWA National Heavyweight Championship. The finish is actually very cool. What they did was Taylor was going to go for a superplex off the second rope. That's kind of his finisher. But as he jumps off, Dylan kind of just froze his Terry's feet. So as he does, he kind of trips off the second rope, and Lindell is able to change his direction midair and falls right on top of Taylor to get the 3 count. So he wins the title from Taylor, and I give it 3. I think I give it 3.5 as well. So the Nature Boy Buddy Landel beats Terry Taylor for the the NWA National Heavyweight Championship. Then we go back to Atlanta, and it was the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, Ole and Arn Anderson against Wahoo McDaniel and Billy Jack Haynes. So I mean, I actually was I was actually getting excited for this match because you got Arn Anderson finally. Ole, I don't know. I've heard he was okay, but Arn Anderson, we're talking like 4 Horsemen. The Enforcer. Yeah. The guy who probably did the best spine buster in the game, essentially. Despite what Triple H wants to say, he did not do the best spine buster. Arn Anderson clearly did the best spine buster. But I gave it, I think I gave this match like a 2-star or something because it was 2.5. Because first of all, I felt it was very short. But second of all, no Arn Anderson spine buster, none. Yeah. Also, the finish was stupid. I think the finish was, Ole McDaniel had Arn in his corner. But Ole was on the outside. All Ole did was he tripped Wahoo's foot, and he fell over, and then Arn covered him. But Ole kind of had Arn's foot on a rope or something. So he had extra leverage, so Wahoo couldn't kick out. So I don't know. It was a stupid finish, but anyway, they win the match and they win the tag because the tag team titles won the line in this match. So they 2.5 stars. The Minnesota Wrecking Crew beat the Wahoo McDaniel, Billy Jack Haynes, to retain their NWA National Tag Team Championship. We then go back up to the Coliseum in Greensboro. And I Quit Steel Cage match for the NWA United States Heavyweight Championship between Magnum TA and Tully Blanchard with Baby Doll in his corner. I mean, obviously, I knew it was going to be a good match because Tully Blanchard, I really liked his Ricky Steamboat match at 84. And I said, he's also a Horseman. He's going to be a future Horseman, and you can tell why Ric Flair is such a big fan of him because guy had so much talent. Magnum TA is actually very interesting, Tyler. This guy was almost like the Hulk Hogan of the South, essentially. In fact, when I do Stargate 86 next week, you're going to learn that this guy probably would have been maybe the Hulk Hogan of NWA wrestling, aka WCW, if it wasn't for an unfortunate accident in his career in that, but which actually changes the main event of 86 Stargate. But you could tell how over he was. The crowd was way behind Magnum TA in this match. And I Quit Steel Cage match, very unique. But it was like usual I Quit. There's a microphone in the ring, and it's like, hey, you say you quit in that, and I mean, it both got very bloody, and the finish got very interesting. Baby Doll throws I believe it was a chair in the ring. It's like a wooden chair too, and Tully Blanchard breaks it, and he has this sharp part of the chair. And he starts almost like he's gonna stab Magnum TA's forehead with it. Yeah. I mean, it actually looks like a sharp object too. Like as if he stabs him, he's gonna It looks like I guess the way Tully Blanchard has even Tully Blanchard's look such a he's like, I'm gonna kill this son of a bitch. Yeah. But anyway, Magnum TA, due to the support of the crowd, ends up following it. Well, gets the upper hand, gets the object, and ends up stabbing Tully Blanchard with it. And Tully Blanchard starts crying. I don't blame him because it's this sharp wooden object essentially.
Oh my god!
But he ends up crying and ends up yelling, I quit, and Magnum TA drops the object and just runs back there. But let's get the network called this people rated this people TV mature. I do all the blood because there was so much blood in this match, and not just in this match, in this pay per view in general. That it just if you have never seen WCW back or even wrestling back in the day during the pre-blood eras, and you just know PG WWE, you'd be shocked. Oh my god, there's like no blood now.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, like almost every match, somebody's bleeding from their forehead. But so like I said, I gave that. I think I gave it like a 3.5, just because there was so much emotion in this match here. I mean, great psychological battle between MTA and Tully Blanchard. We got a comedy match, Atlanta Street. It was Atlanta Street between Jimmy Valiant and Miss Atlanta Lively, which was Ronnie Garvin and drag against one of my favorite managers, the Midnight Express, Bobby Eaton and Dennis Condrey, with Jim Cornette as a manager. Jim Cornette, a very entertaining manager. I'm looking for. As soon as I saw him, like finally, we're starting getting to like great WCW managers now. You know, J.J. Dillon, Jim Cornette. Paul Heyman's going to show up in future pay-per-views soon. I know it's going to happen soon. So, I mean, to me, it's like the WLC match, though. This was clearly just a comedy. But yet these guys are bleeding from their foreheads, like gushing blood out. Using, it's a street, using foreign objects and such. So they're busting their asses off, and it's a comedy match.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. Anyway, it ends with Lively using hits. I think it was Eden with a European uppercut, and he pins Eden. So Jimmy Valiant and Miss Atlanta Lively beat the Midnight Express, and give it 2 stars. Like I said, I hate when it's comedy matches, but yet these guys are bleeding like blading like there's no tomorrow. Like there's just blood leaking out of their forehead because they're just blading the hell out of each other essentially. So we get to the main event. In the Greensboro Coliseum, it's a steel cage match. Oh, actually, I should say before that, we had an interview with Buddy Landel with J.J. Dillon, actually. And Buddy Landel actually got some very nice promo. He's calling out Ric Flair, saying that Ric Flair's been dodging him. Essentially, he wants to face Ric Flair for the true right to be called the Nature Boy. Like essentially, it's come on, Flair, we can't both be the Nature Boy. Only one person can be the Nature Boy. So I want to face you for the right to be called Nature Boy. That's essentially what his promo was saying. So anyway, it's the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson against with Don Canado as their in their corner. Against Ivan and Nikita Koloff with Crusher Khrushchev in their corner. It's for the NWA World Tag Team Championship. It was actually a very good match here. I mean, once again, you start hearing names like the Midnight Express, the Rock and Roll Express. WCW had some very deep tag teams back then. Granted, I think most of these tag teams have gone to WWF eventually in the 80s and early 90s too. But still, I mean, it was actually a very good match, very entertaining. And, the Rock and Roll Express ended up winning with a roll-up. Once again, both sides are very bloody. But no, I mean, so, I guess to get payback for the Evil Russian beating the American early on, the Americans beat the Russians.
Yeah.
And it was also awesome because the Koloffs came out to the Russian national anthem again, which I think I don't know. I just think that it's very awesome when you have
It's an outrage.
when you have guys playing like a foreign villain and they come out to like a foreign national anthem.
Yeah.
And it's just like the most gullible American fans that we are, just eat it up and boo the hell out of them as if like, don't make fun of our country. Clearly you're making fun of the other country, but boo you. So anyway, we finally get to the main event. Oh, but actually after we have an interview with Madam TA, and you can see why this guy got so much like the guy cuts a very nice promo. Essentially he's almost teasing like, I won a US title, but there's one more title I gotta win that's the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. I don't care if it's Ric Flair or Dusty Rhodes, I want to win that title next year. And he was supposed to, but stuff happens. But so anyway, we have Dusty Rhodes versus Ric Flair. Once again, awesome entrances here. I mean, this felt like it was a bigger match because Dusty got screwed out of the title last year at Starrcade. So this is like his last chance to win the belt for Flair finally. But like I said, a very good match. The finish, anyway. I mean, I gave it 4 stars because it's a Dusty Rhodes Ric Flair match. They're both in their prime. They're both over. Yeah. Flair is a bad guy now. Like last year he was like mixed. This year it's in Atlanta. He's a villain. Yeah. Dusty, it's pro Dusty now, essentially. But anyway, what happens is Rhodes applies the figure 4 leg lock. But then Ole and Arn Anderson come down, who align with Ric Flair, and they interfere on Flair's behalf. And Rhodes actually kicks Arn. He sees Arn, but Ole comes in and performs like a high knee on Rhodes. And the referee's out. It's insane. The referee's out while all this is happening. Then Flair comes in as a new officials come in, and he has the 3 count. But Rhodes kicks out. Flair picks up Rhodes, and Rhodes is like groggy as hell in that. But then, the great babyface that he is, he does like a schoolboy out of nowhere, and Flair gets a 3 count. Place goes bonkers. Yeah. Finally Dusty gets, payback from Flair for screwing him last year. Definitely Joe Frazier screwed him last year, but, you get the point. So, like I said, 4-star match. Dusty beats Ric Flair, and he wins the Indian Championship. And, I thought it was actually a pretty nice finish. I actually enjoyed this entire card for 85 than I did 84 and 83 Stargate. So, I'm hoping looking going forward of 86. That production value is going up. Maybe I thought the commentating was better with Tony Schiavone. Can't wait till Jim Ross starts commentating in these pay-per-views too, because because he does, Tyler. He commentated for WCW before he did for WWF. So I'll be interested to see how well Jim Ross does in these pay-per-views too. But I mean, granted, this is WCW too, so they do screw up finishes even after pay-per-view. After Dusty wins, and he cuts a promo, champagne and all that too. The aftermath of Stargate is that Dusty's victory was reversed by Tommy Young, the official. Saying that the outcome was changed because Rhodes winning by disqualification, that Rhodes actually won by disqualification because the bell should have rung when Arn and Ole interfered in the match. Yeah. The ref was unconscious though. Yeah. But I guess WCW turns. Once you see it's the replay, that's the thing here too. WCW apparently they actually care what it's the replay says.
Just like 30 years ago, almost.
But so apparently, the ref was reversed. Yeah, technically he didn't see it. Technically it's still legal, but no, we had these rules to say if somebody interferes, it has to be disqualification, which means Flair actually retains the belt then. So way to go, WCW. So Dusty actually has the decision was reversed. Flair actually retains the belt. Granted, this was not announced technically at the pay-per-view when people actually spent money and all that stuff. This was announced in like a live event somewhere after maybe a week after the event. And Dusty does win the belt from Flair at the Great American Bash Tour, but he does lose it like a week later then. So, however, the biggest thing to come after this Stargate is that Flair does form the Four Horsemen finally. The first one, which is it's him, Arn Anderson, Ole Anderson, Tully Blanchard, and J.J. Dillon as their manager. So, Stargate 86 will be the first one that features the Four Horsemen, which I'm looking forward to. The first ones of, which, and I say the first ones because there's like 13 different Four Horsemen teams. Yeah. It's mainly Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, and insert 2 random competitors then. Like 2 random allies. I mean, good ones and bad ones. You got, Sting, Sid Vicious, I believe Barry Windham, even Paul Roma was a member of the Four Horsemen at one point. So, I mean, like I said, I enjoyed the pay-per-view. It was actually, like I said, the best one out of all the 3 Stargates I've seen so far. But I'm looking forward to 86 next year. Yeah. Which, like I said, will be Ric Flair in the main event again. Because, like I said, he didn't technically lose the belt. Well, he lost it, but technically, in WCW's weird booking, he actually didn't lose the belt. So, but he'll be in the main event. It gets supposed to be Magnum TA. And Magnum TA is supposed to go, but an accident happens, and it's actually someone who just shocked me. Because he's a heel. But now he's going to be a babyface in the main event against Ric Flair. Yeah. So, we'll see. It's Stargate 86. It actually is going to feature the Road Warriors, too. The first one for the Road Warriors. So, I'm looking forward to that. But that'll be next week's review. So, But no, I mean, I'd say this is probably the best pay-per-view I've seen so far on the network, WCW-wise. So, I'm expecting great things now going forward.
From 86, Yep, which, we'll cover next week right here, review on the Great Wrestling Debate. I guess, like, in the second half after, obviously, we go through the current events of WWE. As, we're now on the road to Payback. Which
From Chicago?
From Chicago, yep.
Every time I hear a CM Punk chat, I should be taking a shot that night. You know it's coming, Tyler. You know Chicago fans are going to be chanting CM Punk. Because, I think the rest of the country has finally moved on and realized he's not coming back. Chicago's going to be,
Still, Yeah, so.
It's going to be entertaining, I bet. But it's getting old now. It's getting
Yeah.
old. He's not coming back. And you know, if you want to cheer it so much, do it outside his apartment door so he can tell you to go fuck yourself, essentially.
Yeah.
You know, try and get some sleep here. I mean, like I said, I don't know. We'll see. But
yeah.
if anybody wants to find a new drinking game, you know, Payback, you know, I guarantee you guys gonna be, you know, black, like drunk as hell. If you took a shot anytime somebody said CM Punk on Payback.
Yeah. Yeah. So yep, we'll be back here to talk about those things with going on with WWE and Starrcade 86 review.
Yep.
Next week on the
Skywalkers. That's what it's called. Skywalkers. I don't know why it's called Skywalkers.
So yep, stay tuned for that right here on the Great Wrestling Debate, and thanks for tuning in as always.